Are we about to get a shit alt season or are we about to get a real alt season? The difference between the two is that in the bad alt season, you make good money and it starts to get really exciting. And then the market just rugs and you lose so much money. In this cycle so far, we've had 3 shit alt seasons. In December 2023, in March 2024, and in November and December of 2024. There's actually a real word for these types of alt seasons. It's called a phantom alt season. It's when it feels like a real alt season is about to start, but it doesn't have the follow through or the power of the real thing. The biggest question right now for this perhaps final leg of the market is, are we going to get another phantom or are we going to get that elusive 2021 style alt season where crypto is culturally mainstream again and prices are going 20x across the board? The difference between these two things is one will only get you a 3 to 5x multiplier on your portfolio if you sell the exact top, and the real alt season will have you acting like this. In this cycle so far, we haven't even tasted a fraction of what a real alt season will feel like. And we really need to figure out which one we're going to get because the cost of getting it wrong is insane. If you're wrong about it being a phantom alt season and we get the real thing, you miss one of the most generational opportunities for wealth there is. Before I tell you which one I think we're going to get, please remember that nothing here is financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm going to start off this video by discussing some of these comments that I get. Yesterday, I made a video expressing how I was bullish and I got a comment like this. I understand why people comment this stuff. If you look back at my videos from December and January, I was bullish and I was expecting prices to go higher. But the crucial thing is, I pivoted my position as soon as the Trump meme coin launched. Okay, so let's take a look at my videos from January to see what I was saying. So in January, we had a bullish video, another bullish video, another one, and then some Ondo FUD. And then the Trump meme coin launched, which was a bearish video. And I was talking about how I was actually really scared of the after effects that this token was going to have. Then there was another bearish video, another bearish video, and then another bearish video. Then I make a video discussing how actually it's going to be late April and May when we can start going up again and making money. And as you can see, it was one of my most disliked videos. No one wants to hear that they have to wait 3 months to make money. Then we've got another bearish video calling for lower prices on Sol. And then during the lows, I start to pivot back into being bullish. I start accumulating heavily in my portfolio and I start bull posting again. And all the while on Twitter, I was giving exact playbooks for the market, which played out to perfection so far. I'm going to drop another one of these playbooks, but in video format. I'm going to detail how I would expect this next leg of the market to play out and discuss which specific months we need to be getting out of this market. So make sure you subscribe. So back to this person's comment. I understand their point of view. If I saw a guy bull posting for 6 months straight and then within 1 week, within one video, he completely switches up, I'd be pissed off too. But you have to understand that this is my strategy and the same thing is going to happen again. For the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to love me. And then one day, I'll make a video completely switching up and it'll piss you off, but hopefully you'll understand what I'm doing. The point I'm trying to make by showing you this is I want you to make sure you're watching all of my videos. Don't skip through them because 1 minute could contain crucial bits of information about what I'm doing with my portfolio, which will help you greatly. I think around here, I showed how I was de-risked into stables and Bitcoin. And this time, I'm going to do my best to make sure that we maximize profits this leg and also get out before the major crash. Not financial advice or any guarantees, but that's my goal. I believe it's the number one biggest way to really help your audience out, this leg compounding strategy. Now, before I discuss whether we're going to get a phantom shit alt season or 2021 style ballistic one, I'm going to give you some crucial analysis as to where I think we are right now for this leg. For example, do we have 1 month left, 2 months, 3 months? How high can prices go? This is my complete checklist for assessing those market conditions. I'm going to make a video on this checklist consistently for you at least once a week. That way, once we can see that things on this checklist are hitting, for example, certain top signals, we'll be able to say, okay, we need to de-risk and get out of this market. As I said, for this next leg of the market, I'm taking YouTube seriously now And I really want us all to succeed as a community and sell the top of a leg and buy back all the blood and compound our entire portfolios. I've already done it this year, and next time I want to make sure I'm doing it with everyone. So let's get through this checklist. First of all, we need to assess the daily trends of Bitcoin and altcoins. If you don't have the 25 EMA on your chart, you must get it. Do not ignore what I just said. Make sure you have this on your chart. If we see the Bitcoin price above the 25 EMA, it's a very strong sign for the market. It's also one of the best exit signals. Once we lose this, it's a warning shot from the market straight away. And take a look when we lost it in February. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rejections off of that one EMA. We literally could not get above it. And it's like the entire market was drowning when the price is below this EMA. And here's something really important. I'm going to share a mistake I made this year. When we have Bitcoin above its daily trend, but the majority of altcoins are losing their daily trends, it's a bad sign for the entire market. All of this stuff is linked together. If altcoins show serious weakness, Bitcoin will eventually falter too. Now, if we get a situation where both Bitcoin and altcoins are seriously below this daily trend, yeah, we're basically finished, and it's a really bad situation. Remember, every single week I'm going to update you on this table and the trends for Bitcoin and altcoins, so make sure you subscribe. Right now, we're in the best possible scenario, which is Bitcoin is above its daily trend and the majority of altcoins are also above. Next, we need to do high time frame chart analysis. I think timing analysis is the most powerful weapon you can have in this market. It's also how I knew to accumulate in March and April, and how I knew we'd be exploding right about now. Based on my current timing analysis, this leg has started around April. A typical leg can last around 140 days, which is around 3 to 4 months. So around July is when our danger zone kicks in. Funnily enough, July is also right before we died in 2024. Of course, each leg will never repeat the exact same. That's why we're going to use an arsenal of tools to tell us how to play the market and to tell us when to get the hell out. Now let's move on to some technical data that tells us how greedy the market is being. If we take a look at the funding rates right now, it's still cool. Mark my words and remember this carefully. If you load up this chart one day, in the next few months, and this right side over here is colorful like this over here, just know that we've got like 30 days maximum before it's all over. For now, this indicator has not flashed. The second thing I want you to do, go to velo.xyz, click on open app, click on this button on the side over here, and then go to chart. Once it loads up the chart, go to indicators, type in aggregated premium, and there you have one of the best indicators for risk on conditions. This indicator will tell you when the market is overheated and we have a limited window to maximize gains before it's all over. If we take a look at this now, this should really excite you because it means this leg has barely even started according to this data. Isn't that the most exciting thing ever? It means we've got so much fuel left for this leg of the bull market. Anyways, what I've just showed you is a fraction of the analysis that I can share with you in regards to knowing where we are in the cycle and knowing when to sell everything and walking away for 2 to 3 months. I'll be making full-length videos on this every week, but for the summary for where we are right now, we have many months left in this leg. There's no signs of greed in this market based on real, accurate technical data. This is just the warm-up phase, and we're in a strong technical uptrend on the altcoin charts and the Bitcoin chart. Which leads me back to the all-important question, are we going to get a phantom alt season, or is the 2021 style alt season already coming? Now, if you're a long-term viewer of mine, you're going to think, oh, I know Dream, he's going to say it's going to be a phantom alt season and bring us all back to reality. But I can't dismiss the idea that a 2021 style alt season will come, because it would be ignorant for me to say, no, it can't happen and we're stuck with mediocre gains. And I'll explain why in just a bit. But let me just explain to you what happens in a phantom alt season versus a real season. So in a phantom alt season, only 1 to 2 sectors will actually give good gains. So during the last leg, it was dino coins and meme coins. And also the things that seem strong at the start just fizzle out and die off. They don't continue with their momentum. And crucially, many don't outperform BTC meaningfully. If you remember my example yesterday with Render, this coin only gave 50% gains against Bitcoin from that terrible August 5th crash. In a phantom alt season, the rotations are cynical. You have to take profits fast. Most of the time, you end up losing to Bitcoin. It feels fun for like 3 weeks max, and then you get 3 months of savagery. That is a phantom alt season. Yes, it is possible to make great money. It's a lot harder, and it requires a different strategy, because the fundamental problem with this alt season is there's not a massive amount of new money coming in. The 2021 style ballistic alt season, on the other hand, is a different beast altogether. Don't be fooled into thinking this is easy. It's very hard in its own way. Last cycle, I caught BNB really early, and I made massive gains on this run. But the problem with cycles like this is the brutal fast leverage wipeouts. You can lose half of your portfolio in just a couple of days. But here's the key thing. The money is abundant and it is dumb. It's very easy to make a lot of money so fast. So much so that the money begins to lose meaning for you. It sounds crazy to say, but let's say you got 5k and it's a lot to you now. During these sorts of alt seasons, you'll be throwing around 5k like it's nothing to you. Now here's the key part of this video. I cannot rule out a 2021 style alt season or some form of that. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% the exact same, but there could be a really powerful alt season. And the reason is because me, you, and everyone else in this market has seen the alt seasons of this cycle try and break out and then just fail and rug. What if on this last run up, let's say in June and July, everyone's feeling really good, they take profits because they have PTSD from the brutality of Jan, Feb and March, and then they sell, but then somehow the market just keeps going up and then they're forced to FOMO back in. So if the market dips and then it keeps going, and then they're forced to FOMO back in, and it generates a really powerful alt season full of sideline capital piling in, and the reflexivity attracts worldwide headlines and it creates a massive blow off top. It sounds impossible for me to say like this, but remember, we've been conditioned since 2023 now to expect phantom alt seasons. Maybe this final one is going to be the real thing. Now at this point, you might be stressed out. You might be thinking it's absolutely important for you to pick the right one and get it right, because this might be the final leg and you need to maximize the amount of profits you take from the market. You don't want to leave massive gains on the table, because if it really is over after this, you're going to have to wait 3 years before you can start making good money in crypto again. It's possible an entire cycle could be wasted. That's why for me, I don't think it's important to nail this and get it right at all. If I think back to why people continually failed this cycle and kept making mistakes, it's because during the peaks of each of these phantom alt seasons, they always had in the back of their minds, what if that 2021 alt season comes? And it keeps them trapped into the market. What I'm going to suggest to you now is pay attention, a different game altogether. I want you to stop playing this rigged game where you're constantly battling in your mind, which one are we going to get? Because that's what everyone on YouTube is thinking about. When the market gets really heated, that's the number one question they have. This is what most people in the market do. They buy and hold coins like Ondo, Render, Linked, Near, ICP. There's a longer list. I'll make a video on coins that I think you need to get out of this week. But they buy and hold that stuff and they think they're going to get a 10x on their portfolio. It is of my view that for people who hold coins like this, they're going to get like a 3x max and then give back all of their money and go below cost basis on their portfolio, which means they lose more money than they put in. Their expectations for things like this are just way too high. This is my winning formula. I'm going to break it down for you now. Pay maximum attention. With this way, it makes you more money because you won't be holding mid-curve weak altcoins. So here's the simple formula. I need to keep repeating this so people finally get it. You need to invest in diamond class asymmetric opportunities. This keyword is what I would say 99% of people in crypto don't understand. They don't understand how to process asymmetry. Take a look at Ondo, for example. How much X is this up for the cycle? It's up like AX for the cycle because I remember buying it at like 14 cents. The market cap after the unlocks is ginormous. What's the asymmetry here? How can you even begin to assess the downside of this token? Also, what's the upside for such a huge market cap token? It's already delivered massive gains this cycle and it has bag holders for people who are buying late last year. You can't clearly define the downside, and anyone who isn't emotionally attached to this coin would agree that, yeah, it actually is quite large in market cap now after those unlocks. Now, underholders in the comments are going to say to me, but it's the best RWA token, it has the strongest connections, and it has ties to BlackRock. I agree, it's a great narrative. It's also why I bought it at 14 cents. But my question now is, who doesn't know this information? What informational edge do you have now? And how much of that narrative that I just spoke about is reflected in the current market cap? I scroll through the top 100 and the top 200 and so on. I look at the coins that people hold, and I would never, and I mean never, touch these tokens ever again. And it scares me that people are banking their hopes and dreams on a coin like Ondo doing a 10x. If you're happy with a 3x, okay, that's fine, but just don't expect the 10x. Instead, what you need to do is compound opportunities. Like I showed in yesterday's video, in the Discord, we got a 2.5x on syrup. We took profits right at the top. I made an alert for it. And with this market dip that's currently taking place on the low time frames, I'm planning on rotating all of my syrup gains into another 5x call. That's the real pathway to a 12.5x. The 2.5x is already done. And with what I showed you in this video, with the next leg just barely getting started, the 5x is also reasonable. All I need is the market to dip a bit more. That's what I'm relying on. I want to buy it, share it in premium, and bring it onto YouTube ASAP. I'll only bring it onto YouTube if the risk to reward is still great for YouTube viewers and it hasn't pumped like crazy. If I wouldn't buy it myself at that price, I simply won't share it on YouTube. It's not ethical. Yes, this is a different strategy where you buy these diamond, unique, asymmetric opportunities that have the ability to pump fast. You park in Bitcoin and you rotate into new, fresh opportunities. That's exactly what my service is entirely dedicated towards. I spend all day finding these opportunities and I share them in the Discord and I tell you when it makes sense to sell. I also make calls in the Discord very rarely because I don't want to call losers. And if you take a look at the guys in premium, a lot of them have recovered their portfolio through my calls already. And you best believe they're excited for their next 5x call that I have ready to go. I'll leave the link to premium in the pinned comments. If you want to buy an annual subscription, join the Discord and go to crypto payment and then follow the instructions from there. Also take a look at some of the vouchers that people have been leaving during this time. Now, I don't want to sound overly excited, but I really do think we're blessed to have so much clarity at this phase of the market. If you just take a look at the technical data, it's telling us that we're just getting warmed up and it's barely even started. And there's another reason that I haven't told you yet as to why I have so much conviction in the market over the next 2 to 3 months. Because I know for a fact that a lot of people are sidelined, and also because I myself am struggling to 100% believe in this move. It's honestly baffling me, which means less experienced people definitely don't believe, which is really bullish. So with this dip, the market might create some fear again, but it will give the entry needed for the next leg higher. I don't know what happens to the short-term price action, but I'm prepared for multiple different outcomes. Make sure you subscribe with the bell notifications on. And yes, you need the bell notifications. Thank you for watching my videos.